Hello and welcome to the first episode of Hasta Lasagna. Don't get any on ya. I'm David Daniel, and I'm joined by my co-host
Mary J. Sly, just because I'm sly with it.
Great. And we're gonna talk about movies, I guess.
Hell yeah. Would you like to start, David?
Sure, I'd like to start, Mary. Okay, we're doing movies, each movie from each year we were born, up until present day.
Handily, we both were born in 2005, so we're starting with a level playing field.
Yes, we are. Okay.
What's your first film?
My first film is Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
What?
Don't
get any on ya.
Directed by Shane Black, director of Iron Man 3. Arguably the best Iron Man film. Maybe that's not true.
I was thinking.
Maybe.
The little runt, and he gives all his stuff to him.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that little runt. Okay, yeah, Iron Man 3 is the best then.
Also, that's one of my favorite MCU movies, Iron Man 3.
That's so fair.
Anyway, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is an action comedy starring Val Kilmer and Robert Downey Jr.
Batman vs. Iron Man.
No.
Iceman vs. Iron Man.
What did you say?
Iceman versus Iron Man?
Oh! I thought you said Iron Man versus Iron Man.
No.
It's like, that doesn't make any sense.
No.
Anyway, this is a great film. It's really funny.
Describe the plot a little to me.
Describe the plot. Okay, I'll read the letterboxed info. A petty thief posing as an actor is brought to Los Angeles for an unlikely audition and finds himself in the middle of a murder investigation, along with his high school dream girl and a detective who's been training him for his upcoming role.
Ooh.
It's a good movie.
Great movie?
Great movie, it might even be. I mean, it's in my top 4 favorite movies. I love it so much. I love Val Kilmer. He unfortunately died recently. Only 65.
Well, just take that back.
But he's great. He's one of my favorite actors. He's great in Heat, which we won't be talking about because it's not. Well, we weren't alive when Heat happened, but I love Heat so much. But I'm not here to talk about Heat. Don't need to talk about Heat. Yeah, but it's a very confusing plot. But I think it's more of a vibes movie than you need to understand everything the first time kind of movie.
I love vibes movie.
And it's very funny, and it's a Christmas movie as well. It's set at Christmas. It's probably my favorite Christmas movie.
What happens in this film?
A lot happens.
Yeah.
A lot does happen. It's good. Alright, now it's your turn.
Okay, my first film from 2005 is, you guessed it, Wallace and Gromit, The Curse of the Were-Rabbit, directed by Steve Box and Nick Park. Something wicked this way hops is the tagline. Which that just tells you everything you need to know. It's just the best film ever. I think what helps is I was so scared of the Were-Rabbit Wallace. Wallace, the crazy little inventor that he is.
Spoilers.
He is in this film a pest control guy, and then basically accidentally swaps his mind with the mind of a rabbit so he turns into a were-rabbit at night. But the were-rabbit Wallace, which is huge and hairy and really lifelike for what I imagine a were-rabbit would look like if it was stop-motion animation. And it was way too scary. Freaked me out so much. And then when I rewatched it, I think I just had a very deep-founded respect for this film that I'd cast aside for so many years. So yeah.
Great choice, great pick.
Star-studded cast as well.
Yes, Rafe Fiennes, or Ralph, as I call him.
Yeah, but it's actually Rafe.
I think it's actually Ralph.
No, it's actually pronounced Rafe.
I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Ralph, but he changed it to being pronounced Rafe.
No, it's actually Rafe, but he goes by Ralph because it's easier. I'll jump through the phone screen and strangle it into you, Hussy.
Okay,
Sorry.
Moving on. Next year is 2006. Glorious year. We were both 1 in this year.
True.
My pick is The Host by Bong Joon-ho. Watched this movie a few months ago. It's a great movie. It's about this. It's kind of like Jaws, but with this massive sea monster that was created by pollution.
Okay.
It's like about this family, and this guy's daughter gets kidnapped by the creature, and he's trying to find her. And
does the creature have a very specific set of skills?
I don't know what you mean by that. Is that like a Taken reference?
No, yeah, because in Taken, Liam Neeson's daughter gets taken. Spoilers.
But
on the phone. Like Liam Neeson does.
Sure.
Yeah. Sorry, continue, David.
Anyway, and it's just like it's good.
What bit really stands out to you, like plot-wise, or how it's filmed, or whatever?
Probably the bit where the monster appears out of the ocean, and it's just people enjoying their day, and then they're like running from the monster, and the CGI doesn't look great, but I think it still works. It's still very impactful because everything is shot as if you're a person running around there. It's not like a helicopter shot or something.
That's interesting.
It's Bong Joon-ho also directed Parasite.
Oh, yeah.
So I thought I would check this movie out a few months ago, and I loved it so much. It's a horror, science fiction, drama, all three. And it's really good. Would highly recommend to anyone who likes Jaws. It's definitely got a lot of Jaws energy to it. Yeah.
Oh, great.
Now it's you?
No, it's me. My 2006 film is called Just My Luck, directed by Donald Petrie.
Just My Luck.
Lohan and Chris Pine, and it's a very interesting romantic comedy in which at the beginning of the film Chris Pine, is really ugly because he wears glasses and wears khaki trousers, and obviously that means he's really ugly, and he's just so down in his luck. Bad things happen all the time. Can't catch a break. And Lindsay Lohan, she's just like cool and rich, and she has such good luck, and everything goes great for her. But then some coin flips that I can't really remember, I haven't watched in a while, and then Chris Pine gets really lucky all the time, and then Lindsay Lohan gets so unlucky, and then it swaps again. I think it's something to do with like this fountain, and then Lindsay Lohan gets really lucky, and then he's really unlucky, and then something happens again, and then Chris Pine gets really lucky, and then she gets really unlucky, and I think they kiss, and then they're both lucky.
That's great.
And I think it's a real ship of Theseus. It's just like, if if you've come back from war and rebuilt your ship, are you even lucky anymore? You know.
True, very true.
Yeah.
I'd never even heard of Just My Luck. I've just looked it up on Letterboxd. Never even heard of it. Don't even recognize the poster. It's got a 2.9.
Never heard of Just My Luck.
It's got a 2.9 rating. Which isn't that bad. It could be worse.
2.8.
Chris Pine was born. It could be 2.8. Chris Pine was born in 1980. Just thought that was interesting. Anyway, that's Just My Luck.
Yeah, it is.
Would you recommend it?
Absolutely. There is no world in which I'm not. There's no day, morning, evening, any point in my life where I'm not up to watch that film.
Excellent.
Isn't it?
Now it's we're into 2007. We would be 2 years old. Which is older than the year before.
That is.
My movie is... Wait, I just got a burp. Pardon me, yes, of course. My pick is Sunshine by Danny Boyle.
Who's Danny Boyle?
He directed Trainspotting.
Of course.
This is the second time him and Alex Garland teamed up, who Alex Garland did Ex Machina, Civil War, 28 Days Later. He wrote that. And it's a movie about this. So the sun is basically dying, and the planet has turned into like this. Everything is cold, and there's always snowing, and it's always really cold because the sun is dying. So they've sent this team of astronauts on a ship called Icarus. Not a great name for a ship. But
who's gonna know how that one?
Who knows? Wow. But they basically are sending this nuke to the moon, and they're just gonna not the moon, the sun. They're gonna throw this.
Nuke the sun?
They're gonna nuke the sun to try and like restart it. I could talk about this movie all day, really. It's got a great Cliff Curtis is in this movie. Great actor, one of my favorite actors. And he gets sun madness, which I love. I love sun madness. He just gets like addicted to staring at the sun. And there's like this one scene where he's looking at the sun. He's got his aviator sunglasses on, and they're showing the sun at like 2% or something brightness, because if they showed it full brightness, you would just eviscerated. And then he's like, "Why don't we do 4% brightness?" And it's like, if you do 4%, you will be blinded. And he's like, "Okay, how about 3.9%?" And then he tries it out. He's like, "Okay, but you can only do this for 20 seconds." And so you just see him baking there, all sweaty and just staring at the sun, getting sun madness. It's got a great score by John Murphy. Really great. Chris Evans is in this.
Butterflies just landed on me.
A fly just landed on you.
Butterfly, I'm in my head.
Oh!
Sorry, continue.
That's alright. Chris Evans is in this, one of his first roles. Because this was
fresh off the boat.
Wow, he was really young in this. Rose Byrne is in this. She's great. Cillian Murphy's in this. Michelle Yeoh's in there. She's great. She's like the gardener. And she gets really sad when all of her plants get burned up. But then like there's this, she manages to save like this one plant. It's great. Would recommend.
Michelle Yeoh is just fab.
Yes, she's so great. You know she's 63.
I know, oldie but a goldie. Not even oldie, just goldie.
True. All right, your go.
My go. My next film is the 2007 film Atonement, directed by Joe White.
Ah.
Keira Knightley and James McAvoy. I mean, if you watch this and you don't like it, like this, it's just like I have seen this film so many times, but I think I've only watched the ending of it twice because I just can't stomach it anymore. It's so gutting. The what if sort of like plot twist at the end, and oh goodness, just Keira Knightley wears this green silk dress and she smokes a cigarette and she looks all like misty, and it's the most sexy, most gorgeous thing I've seen in my entire life. Like the chemistry with her and James McAvoy, just all of it. It's just I just love this.
Awesome.
And it was Saoirse Ronan as a young'un, and you can see she slays all day, every day.
Haven't seen Atonement. Would you recommend?
Oh, 100%. It's so good. It's so good.
Great, I'll put that on my list.
Hell yeah.
Moving on to the next year, 2008. We were free.
How many films out in 2008?
Some might say there's not many films out in 2008. Some might say it was one of the best years for films. But
You know. That's your film.
That's your film. Anyway, my pick is Pineapple Express, starring Seth Rogen and recently deceased James Franco.
James Franco's dead?
Yes.
What? James Franco? Am I the guy from Geeks and Freaks?
Yeah, he's
He's not dead. No.
He's dead?
He's dead. James Franco rip. James Franco was revealed to be a sex pest around 2017.
Yeah, he's dead.
He thinks the boys just pretend he's dead. He's not. What?
He's dead.
Shut up! God, you're a friggin' poo. You're such a poo. He's not dead.
He may as well be dead.
He was sex pest in 2017.
That's when he died.
Shut up.
Anyway,
You are such a poo.
Pineapple Express, directed by David Gordon Green.
Sorry. Yeah, James.
It's a comedy. It's been one of my favorite movies since I was like 12. I remember watching it when I was 12 and just thinking it was the best thing I'd ever seen. Found it so funny. It's only actually it's a bit long, I suppose. It's an hour and 50 minutes. It's not too long.
Okay. No.
But yeah, it's great. It's funny. Karen Corrigan is really funny. And yeah, I don't know what to say about it really. It's a funny movie. It's a good action comedy as well. It was produced by Judd Apatow, and he was basically like have you seen True Romance?
I haven't.
Well, there's this character played by Brad Pitt in that movie who's also dead.
Shut up.
and he plays like this stoner guy. And Judd Apatow was like, why shouldn't we make the whole movie about these stoner guys who get involved in crime stuff? And that's where the idea for the movie came from.
So everything get involved in crime sounds so good.
It is good. It's a great movie. Would highly recommend. Seth Rogen. I love Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, What's your pick for 2008?
2008. Oh, it's a classic, directed by none other than Anne Fletcher. 27 Dresses, starring Katherine Heigl and James Marsden. She always a bridesmaid, has been in so many weddings as a bridesmaid wearing these ugly dresses. So yet she's never the bride. And James Marsden takes photos of her in all of their dresses, and their pretty dresses, and then she's a very straight A type A lady, and she doesn't like to mess around too much, And then she finally opens up to this one guy, and then the second that he gets in her pants, and they sing Benny and the Jets on the bar, and they go Benny, Benny, they're the Jets. But they just do that for hours and hours, and I was like, I didn't think the song actually says Benny that much. That actually did really get on my nerves when I watched it, because no one would keep that energy for that long. Even with the attention spans of the 2008s. But yeah, no, James Marsden then snakes her in the back because he publishes this article that's never always a bridesmaid, and it's look at this ugly bitch. She can't get married, and then I think they get together. Tagline: she's about to find the perfect fit.
Nice.
And her little sister gets engaged to the guy she's got a huge big fat crush on. Just kind of a snake move. Also, if you don't know, you don't know,
This sounds great. I might actually watch this.
You don't not have to.
What?
No, I don't like the film.
You don't?
2008 is a trash year for movies, what can I say?
Okay. No follow-ups on that.
Your game, 2009.
2009. My pick for 2009 is none other than James Cameron's Avatar.
Avatar, the highest grossing film of all time.
The highest grossing film of all time. I love Avatar. I love it so much. I'm deep in on Avatar. And enter the world of Pandora. In the 22nd century, a paraplegic marine is dispatched to the moon Pandora on a unique mission, but becomes torn following orders and protecting an alien civilization. Great movie.
I remember Avatar. Zoe Saldana did such good acting in that.
She does do good acting in that. So does Giovanni Ribisi. He's great. Just playing a sleazeball. Love a sleazeball.
Yeah.
Love a sleazeball. One of my favorite kind of characters.
Just a real slime.
Just real slime. Avatar: Way of Water is better. It's way better. Second one. So good. Saw it twice in cinemas.
Really?
Yeah, once in 3D, once not.
Which was better?
I knew you'd say that. It's hard. I'd probably go 3D because it's just... one of the screenings I saw, they were kids talking and chatting all the way through. So that was a bit annoying. But I managed to zone out of that. But, yeah. Great movie.
Yeah.
Why would I recommend it? Everybody's seen it. It's the highest grossing movie of all time.
That's true. And Matt Damon, the punk, missed out on investing in that film.
Yes.
He was he was only going to get a tiny little cut, but he missed out on hundreds of millions of dollars.
I think he hasn't really suffered much because of that.
He hasn't. I mean, he's hardly scraping 2 pennies together, is he?
No, he's been Jason Bourne about too many times.
Ultimatum.
And then Ultimatum, Bourne Legacy, where Jeremy Renner was Jason Bourne for a minute.
Jeremy Renner, the hot sauce guy?
Jeremy Renner, the hot sauce guy.
No, he started a hot sauce company recently.
I know that he had the Jeremy Renner app, where it was a social media app. But you could only post about Jeremy Renner. You could only follow Jeremy Renner.
What? That's dumb as hell. That's actually really funny.
What's your pick for 2009?
2009. I picked a film called The Ghost of Girlfriends Past.
Great.
Directed by Mark Waters. You can't always run from your past. It's basically a rip. It's like the premise of it is like they is ripped off of inspired by whatever you want to say, by the Ghost of Christmas Past, obviously. But Matthew McConaughey plays this real cad, this real sleaze who he just sleeps with so many women and has all this meaningless sex, and he's a professional photographer of all these models, which he, sleeps with, and then they get so attached, and he just can't deal with that. And no one can thaw his ice cold heart. And yeah, he goes to live life in the fast lane, and he, goes to his brother's wedding, and runs into the only ex-girlfriend he's ever had, and basically gets confronted with 3 ghosts. One of the first girl he ever slept with, played by Emma Stone, and it's actually so good. And then I can't remember who the middle ghost is, but he gets confronted with all of his wrongdoings and like how evil he's been to all these women, who he dumped like 4 women on a conference call at once. And I know this sounds really lame, but it's such a good little comfort film, and there's still like good plot twists in it. They always throw me, and yeah, definitely worth a watch.
It sounds really good. It sounds like A Christmas Carol, but with girlfriends.
That's what I meant. What did I say? Ghosts of Christmas Past.
Yeah, that's the name of the movie.
Okay, good. Yeah, it's a Christmas Carol based thing, and it's actually so good.
I think A Christmas Carol is the greatest story ever told. That's my hot take.
Really?
Yeah.
Respect.
I love A Christmas Carol so much. I even like the Jim Carrey one.
The Jim Carrey one? No.
I like that one.
No way. No way, Jose.
Anyway, moving on.
Anyway.
The next year is 2010. It was a year. My pick is The Social Network, by David Fincher. Probably my favorite movie ever made.
Yeah.
I fall asleep to this movie. I've seen it countless times. I know it. I think about scenes when I'm working. I recite them in my head and play the movie back. I think it's.
That's so funny.
I think it's everything I could want. I love. It's just it would be in my like a desert island film, because
yeah, really.
It rewards you on rewatch so much. I love Rooney Mara in the movie. She's so good.
Who did she play?
She plays Erica Albright.
Who's that one again?
His girlfriend in the opening scene where she breaks up with him.
Oh yeah, his origin story.
Because she's like dating you is like dating a stairmaster.
That's so funny.
I love when she says, "Good luck with your video game." I think that's great. I love Andrew.
I do love that film. One of my only hijink with it is Armie Hammer is scary enough by himself, but Armie Hammer twice was just too much for my poor heart.
Also dead.
Shut up.
Yeah, that's true. The guy who played his double though, what's that guy's name? Josh Pence. He does a good job.
Yeah.
I love Andrew Garfield in this movie.
Oh, he's so good. I also love how much I hate Justin Timberlake in this film.
Yes.
When he's that girl, and she's like, "Is it like Napster?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's actually exactly like Napster." Whatever he says.
He's like, I love the bit when he's looking at the Facebook website, and he's like, "You, Mark Zuckerberg," like he's a villain who's about to like come in and like.
So funny.
It's so good. Yeah, I love the score as well. I listen to that. I could fall asleep to that score as well. Trent Reznor, Atticus Ross, Nine Inch Nails guys. Yeah,
9 Inch Nails,
yeah,
the band.
yeah.
The hell?
It's true.
True.
Anyway, now it's your go. 2010.
2010. Oh god, the film I picked for 2010 is called The Switch, directed by Will Speck and Josh Gordon, starring Jason Bateman and Jennifer Aniston. It's a film in which Jennifer Aniston and Jason Bateman, he plays a guy called Wally, they're long-term friends, and Wally's real, like, crazy type A guy, and she's, like, a bit hippy-dippy with it, and she wants a baby, and so she's like, I'm gonna use a sperm donor. And he's so against it. He's so mad about it. You can tell he probably loves her as a friend, but he loves her so much. And then she gets pregnant and moves away with her baby, and she comes back to New York and lives back in New York, and he sees her again and meets her son. And he's like, wow, he's just like me. That's crazy. And then gets flashback to the fact that when she inseminated herself with the sperm sample of the sperm donor, he was really, really drunk because he was so upset about the fact that she was going to do this, that he was like really drunk and threatening to throw the sperm down the sink, and then accidentally washed it down the sink, and then freaked out and so spunked in the cup, and then he realised that the baby, her son, was actually probably his kid. And then Jeff Goldblum's also in this film. He's great, as he always is. But yeah, it's a classic moral dilemma. It's a classic spunk in the cup moral dilemma. And yeah, it's great.
That sounds absolutely terrible.
No, what do you mean? I think it's a great argument for autism being genetic. Not that any of this would ever happen. But then the sperm donor, who's of course not the actual sperm donor, comes back in their life, and then she almost she gets with the sperm donor again, and Jason Bateman's getting all aggy and trying to be like, but I'm his actual dad, and then has to be like, sorry Cassie, I actually spunked in your cup, not a euphemism.
I love the poster. It's him looking at the cup, and he's kind of like, I guess.
Yeah. That'll do. It's a great film.
Great, I love it. Moving on. Oh wait, I don't know if I have one for 2011. Oh no, I do. I just have it the wrong way around. My pick for 2011 is The Adventures of Tintin.
Oh.
Directed by Steven Spielberg. I love this movie. I love when Haddock is like, you hit a wall, you push through it. Love that bit. It's written by a who's who of writers. Stephen Moffat, writer from Sherlock and Doctor Who. Joe Cornish, writer of Attack the Block. And Edgar Wright as well. He was also a writer. What did he do? He did Shaun of the Dead.
That's it.
And it was produced by Peter Jackson. So it's a real who's who of people involved. It's like the third best Indiana Jones movie. I love Snowy. Snowy's great. There's a great scene where it's just you're following Snowy trying to catch up with Tintin because Tintin's been kidnapped.
Yeah, I remember that. It was harrowing.
I love the bit where Haddock has to pour the bottle into the plane to stop the plane from going down because it doesn't have any fuel left. I love the bit where they're on the ship and they're fighting, and it's Daniel Craig as a pirate and Andy Serkis as a pirate, and they're both fighting. He's like, Red Rockham's treasure. That bit's great. Yeah, great movie. I love it.
Classic. That sounds great. I do remember that film. But the one hijack I have with that film is the animation of it freaked me out a bit too much. It was that stage where animation was like the sort of like Toy Story Shrek stage where it just looks like it's Uncanny Valley, where it looks a bit too realistic but also not enough.
I see what you mean. Yeah, it's like the Polar Express.
Yeah, oh my god, Polar Express was crazy.
I think this does look better than Polar Express, though.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like a video game cutscene.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It is better, but yeah.
Anyway, what's your pick for 2011?
I went for the absolute worst film ever. It's called The Change Up, directed by David Dobkin from 2011. I figured another one starring Jason Bateman, which involves a change up and change of parental figures. So Jason Bateman and Ryan Reynolds play these two old friends. Jason Bateman is like, he's a dad of two kids. Like, the first thing that happened in the film was he gets like pooped from the baby, like in his mouth.
Oh no!
He's married to Leslie Mann. What a babe she is. But he's so bored with his life. He goes to work. He comes home to his wife and kids. Ryan Reynolds, he's so sexy and tall. He's another young cad. He's a real womanizer and like sleeps with people all the time. And then the two of them go out and they get really drunk. And Jason Bateman's like, God, your life's so interesting. Like, my life's so boring. And then Ryan Reynolds is like, no, but like you've got like a wife and kids and like that's so great. And then they both piss in the same fountain. And then it's like a Freaky Friday, but crude. And they show people's nipples in this film. It's absolutely awful. It's under 90 minutes long, less than an hour and a half, but you feel every minute of it. It's a terrible, terrible film, because then they're on the phone to each other being like, are you trying to have a wank being me? And Jason Bateman in Ryan Reynolds' body is like, yeah, but it's not really working. Then Ryan Reynolds in Jason Bateman's body is like, oh, just like use your left hand and put your thumb here. And then he's like, oh, fuck, man, that's great. And then Ryan Reynolds is like, can I fuck your wife? Because he's always thought that Jason Bateman's wife is hot. And then he's like, no, don't fuck my wife. And I can't remember if he does or not. So it's so weird. And Ryan Reynolds is like, in Jason Bateman's body to Jason Bateman and Ryan Reynolds' body is like, can you sleep with this woman for me? It's my standing order. And she comes in, she's like this pregnant woman. And also Ryan Reynolds in his own life like does like softcore porn, and Jason Bateman has to like do that for him. And it's just a horrid film. My favourite comment on Letterboxd about it is, this film is so bad I wish I could swap lives with someone who hasn't seen it.
That's good stuff.
It's just such a genuinely terrible film.
Well, it sounds great. I'll definitely be watching that. Another great film that you've picked.
100%.
Anyway, moving on to 2012.
Yeah.
My pick is Looper, directed by Rian Johnson. In the year 2044, time travel has not yet been invented, but in 30 years it will have been. When the mob wants to get rid of someone, they will send their target into the past where a looper, a hired gun, is waiting to mop up. The main character, Joe, is doing this, and he's getting rich, and life is good until the day the mob decides to close the loop, sending back Joe's future self for assassination.
Oh no.
Young Joe is played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and old Joe is played by Bruce Willis.
That feels like odd casting, but
Well,
Go with it.
they've got prosthetics on Joseph Gordon-Levitt's face to make him look more like Bruce Willis.
Okay.
He doesn't really look more like Bruce Willis because we've seen young Bruce Willis and he doesn't really look like that. I think they could have just made him look like regular Joseph Gordon-Levitt, but doesn't detract from the film. It takes some getting used to, but it's about how it's like, what is it about? It's about like how time is a flat circle, how you end up going back and doing the same things again that you've done before, the same mistakes you've done before.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, why did this happen? But it's about, I love the ending, I won't spoil it. But it's a time travel movie. I love time travel movies. Love Rian Johnson, he's one of my favorite directors. Brick is another great movie that he did, his first movie. Also starring JGL. It's kind of like it's a private eye movie, but set in a high school. So he's like, it's like the quote on the box is the next Donnie Darko, which I think is a bit like, come on.
That was a bit much.
But that's a great movie. I would have chose that for my 2005 if I hadn't already picked Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. But yeah, Looper.
Bang Bang's on the top 4.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway, what's your 2012?
My 2012 film.
It's not the movie 2012, is it?
Huh?
It's not the movie 2012, is it?
Oh, no. It's better than that. Probably the best film. It's called That's My Boy, directed by Sean Anders.
Oh, no.
Adam Sandler and Andy Samberg. You know this one.
I do.
The classic tale of all time where the Adam Sandler, as a young boy, basically gets raped by his high school teacher and then has Andy Samberg as his son. But because he's only like 10 or 12 or whatever, he brings up Andy Samberg and lets him run wild, and he has such a crazy life because he's been brought up by this child rape victim who's like in a huge high profile case. But then he's really squared up now. He's getting married to Leighton Meester in this very affluent family, and his dad's still this old wild card he doesn't like to have around. But that's what always happens. One of the memorable moments in it was Andy Samberg's character always carries an extra pair of pants on him because he's such a square, and then his dad one time's like, oh, just don't take the pants with you for once in your life, and he doesn't, and then he shits his pants, and then everyone's filming it, and that sucks. And then Andy Samberg's on his wedding day about to get married to his wife, but then Adam Sandler sees his wife to be, his fiance, having sex with her brother in the hotel, and announces it. And that's Leighton Meester, his fiance, tells him at the altar that she's fucking her brother, which is wild. And then Adam Sandler's gonna go to jail unless he can pay up to like £1 billion or something. And he made a bet years ago when he had money, and the odds are like, I think he bet $1 or something, or $100, but the odds were like 1,000 to 1 that this one guy was going to win the marathon, and this guy was like really, really large in charge, and I think something happened with the marathon that meant that no one technically won it, so he technically won the marathon, and so the day he's meant to go to jail, he finds out that he, from a whim, discovers that he's won this millions of pounds or whatever, and gets out of jail.
Great
film.
It sounds terrible.
It really is. All of the Letterboxd reviews, it's always just 1 star, and it's just people going like, the things I do for Andy Samberg, which I so stand by. Like, that's so valid.
Yeah, I've been so tempted to see this so many times because I'm such a big fan of the Sandman and the Sam Man.
How long have you been waiting to say that?
I just came up with that on the fly.
On the
fly. Yeah, it's such a shame because I love both of those guys. I I will say it's good casting. They both seem like they would be related.
They're both so naughty.
Both so naughty.
That's the SNL for you.
Anyway, moving on.
Anyway.
2013, another year.
Another year.
Another year. Lots of movies came out this year. Including the movie
Not limited to Iron Man 3.
Including Iron Man 3.
And Frozen.
All three great movies. But my pick is Her, directed by Spike Jonze. You knew I was going to pick it.
I knew it.
I love this movie. It's a movie. If you're sad, it will make you happy. But if you're happy, it will make you sad. It's Rooney Mara is also in this.
Yeah.
My Letterboxd review is good luck with your video game. Because it's kind of what that movie's about. Is this guy is like, he falls in love with this AI played by Scarlett Johansson. And then the AI, oh wait, I won't spoil it. But it's a really good, like, look at the future, like a futuristic world, which kind of still feels like it would exist now.
Yeah.
I love Spike Jonze. I love his movies. I haven't seen Adaptation, but Being John Malkovich is one of my favorite movies. I love that movie so much. He also worked on the Jackass movies, which I also love.
I only realised the other day, and we watched, the only one that we could watch was Jackass 4, and I think I lasted about 15 minutes. I did have somewhere to be, but we watched that, and I had no clue that it was the one, like, it was like, they just do stuff, they just do shit that, like, causes pain.
Yeah, yeah.
That's it. I thought it was like, I watched them with you before, though. I don't know why it just slipped my mind, but what can I say?
Well, what can you say? Anyway, that's Her. Would highly recommend. Love Her.
Love Her. Fantastic. Well, my film for 2013 is About Time.
Great choice.
One of my most favourite films of all time. And whenever anyone's like, what's it about? I just have to go, like, just bear with me. Because when you explain the premise of this film, it's like, how on earth is this actually going to be as, like, how, because this film is just like being hugged. It's so nice. And it's just so lovely and heartwarming. But, like, if you try and explain anyone how good it is while explaining the plot, they look at you like you're just, like, chatting out your ass. And to be fair, I don't blame them, because what do you mean? The premise is, like, that this guy turns 18 and then learns he can time travel, and then he uses it to, like, fall in love with Rachel McAdams without, like, manipulating her, and, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It sounds very weird and coercive, but it's actually so wholesome.
I love Tom Hollander in that movie, playing the playwright. So funny.
Tom Hollander's just so good. What was I watching? Oh, White Lotus. He is so good in that.
He is great.
As well. Yeah, and I just love the wedding scene when she wears that red dress. There's ribbons everywhere, and that opera song, the Il Mondo. That means the world in Italian. Yeah, it's just so good. I flippin' love that film.
Great choice. Great pick. Also love that film. It was actually one of the ones I was considering picking.
Nice. I got there first.
You got there first. Moving on, 2014. I've picked another David Fincher movie. I just love David Fincher so much. I've picked Gone Girl.
Oh, Gone Girl's good.
Love Gone Girl so much. What can you say? I love Tyler Perry in this movie. He's so good. He plays the lawyer, Tanner Bolt.
Yeah.
He's really funny. Just great. I love it's. I always forget like what's happening, and then when everything reveals itself at the halfway mark, it's like, oh yeah, this is great. But I love sad Ben Affleck. That's like one of my favorite genres. Like also Deep Water, another sad Ben Affleck movie. Not a great movie, kind of bad. But I love it.
So sad.
So bad, so sad. But I love that movie. He has like all these snails that he has as pets, and he like sprays them with water. I just thought that was an interesting character detail.
Yeah, it's a nice book.
But I love the bit in Gone Girl. What bit do I love in Gone Girl? I love the bit where he smiles when he isn't meant to smile in the photo.
Oh, yeah.
I think
I love the bit when he wipes the icing sugar off her lip, but when she sees him doing it to the person he's having an affair with,
yes,
that's such a gut wrenching bit.
Yeah, that's great.
It's such a good detail. And what's the other bit that I love? Oh, I love when she stabs Neil Patrick Harris in the throat. Good.
Yeah, that bit's great. I love the music in that bit. Yeah, it's great. Rosamund Pike, obviously amazing in this movie.
Yeah.
She was only like 34, I think.
Not gone yet.
Not gone yet. Love Ben Affleck. He's just great.
Yeah.
He split it with J-Lo recently.
Yeah, good on him.
Why is that good?
I don't know. I don't know. I just, yeah.
Okay.
I'll just say that. See if I know. I've seen videos. It was like she's like making that new film, and about her life, and he was trying to suggest things, and she had going like, "No, puppy, no," but she's been like so nasty to him, and I felt so bad for sad Ben Affleck.
Sad Fleck.
Sad Fleck.
Sad Fleck. Okay. Well, what's your pick for 2014?
My 2014 pick also stars Rosamund Pike as the main character. It's called What We Did on Our Holiday. Have you watched it?
No.
Oh, it's so good. It's her and David Tennant. There's parents of 3, and they're like a very unhappy married couple. And Billy Connolly, and plays David Tennant's dad, and Ben Miller plays his brother, who's like very rich and successful, and rubs it in his face. And basically, they have 3 children together. The youngest she's very little. I think she gets to like improvise her lines and stuff, like they did Without Numbered with Karen when she was little. And basically, the granddad takes the 3 kids out to the beach, to get them away from all the fighting with all their parents and stuff. And when they're on the beach, the granddad passes away. Billy Connolly dies. And then the kids are trying to figure out if he's dead or not. They realise he is, and they go like, okay, well, let's drive back to the house for some help. I think they drive the car into the sea or something. And then they go back to the house to try and get an adult to help them, and see all of the adults fighting. So what they do is, because their granddad always talks about Viking stuff, so they go and give him a Viking funeral and send his body out to the sea and sets him on fire. And then it's all of the adults slowly realising, being like, where the fuck is Granddad? What do you mean he's dead? What do you mean he set his body on fire and put it out in the ocean? Do you know he's actually dead? And there's also this lesbian farmer that owns an ostrich farm in the film. And it's like the parents realising that these kids, they're like, this is such an insane thing for them to do, but realising, actually, we've not led a good example. Of course, that like, why should they? It shouldn't be the case that they don't trust us and can't talk to us. And they're dealing with the grief at the same time, and it's like families coming together, but it's also a comedy, but very, very sharp, very like hard hitting, so they say. It's a great film.
It sounds really good. I expected it to be like one of the other terrible movies that you talked about. That's why I laughed when you said it.
No. This one actually is so good. You'd love this film.
I've added it to my watch list.
It's got Celia Imrie, Ben Miller. It's got such a good cast as well. It's so funny. It's so good.
Awesome. Well,
yeah,
we're going to move on to our last pick for this episode. Because we're going to split this in half. Because we've been going for about an hour. But yeah, my final pick for 2015 is Creed, starring Michael B. Jordan, directed by Ryan Coogler, starring Stallone. Stallone was nominated for the Oscar for this. I think he was beat out by Mark Rylance, which is a crime. Mark Rylance should be put to sleep. Don't like Mark Rylance. Maybe it's just because of the characters he plays, but don't like him. Don't like his vibe. Stallone should have won. But Creed I love the Rocky franchise. I haven't seen Rocky 5, but I love all the Rocky movies. I love Paulie, who unfortunately is dead by this time, played by Burt Young, who's just a not a nice guy. No, I don't mean in real life. In the movies, he's not nice to Adrian. But I love his character. I like I like in Rocky 4 where Stallone has this robot he gives to Paulie for his birthday, and then the robot is flirting with Paulie. I thought that was a bit of fun. The Creed is so good. It's just a great. I love a sports movie. It's a great sports movie. Ryan Coogler knew what to do with the franchise. And it's just all of his movies are great. He's got Sinners coming out soon, which I'm excited for. Also a great Creed 3 is also great. Michael B. Jordan directs Creed 3.
I love Michael B. Jordan.
He's so good. He's such a good actor. Yeah, it's a great movie.
Sounds great. What's it about?
It's about it's about the former heavyweight world champion Rocky Balboa serves as a trainer and mentor to Adonis Johnson, the son of his late friend and former rival Apollo Creed. So it's like Adonis is like he grows up without a father. And then like his mom finds him at some point. It's either his mom or his stepmom. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But and then like when he gets older, he decides to become a boxer. And he finds Rocky, and he gets him to train him. And I love Rocky.
Yeah. Does Michael B. Jordan then star and direct it?
Yeah, in the third one.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what Stallone did, because Stallone directed Rocky 2, and Rocky 3 and Rocky 4, and Rocky Balboa, which is also great. Shout out to another movie, where just quickly, I watched it yesterday, called Warrior. It's a UFC movie. It's like if Heat was a fighting movie. It's so good. Tom Hardy is incredible. Came out in 2011. Directed by Gavin O'Connor. So good. Just like propulsive, and the fights are great. It's better than boxing, I think, as a sports movie. Because there's just, you never know what's going to happen or who's going to win or who is winning. Because it's just like brawling. Just like I'm not really a sports person, but it
You love
was.
sports movies.
But I love sports movies. But yeah, that's my pick for 2015.
Lovely. Well, I was trying to decide between a couple films personally. Trying to decide between The Martian, The Duff, and Alvin and the Chipmunks Road Trip. So I went for The Duff, which is the film about, like every friendship group of 3 girls has the 2 hot ones and the ugly one, which is called The Duff. And so Mae Whitman plays, as we all know, this really ugly girl. She's so ugly. And Bella Thorne's in it, and she's like this bully because she's so hot. But yeah, and then Mae Whitman, who plays Bianca Piper, the ugly one, the Duff, helps tutor because she wears overalls, and and she's obviously so fat as well. But she helps tutor her neighbor, the Wesley, the popular guy from her high school, and gets him really smart. And then he actually chooses her a prom to be his prom queen. But my favorite thing is that she turns up to prom because she always wears overalls and boots and stuff because she's so ugly and fat, and she doesn't even care how she looks because nothing could make a difference. She's so ugly. She always wears flannels. So her friend made her prom dress out of the flannels that she always wears. So she's just so edgy like that.
That sounds great.
And it really helps to solidify, with all young girls, as you needed to, that you can't have more than 2 girls be pretty without one being horrendously ugly. And that is exactly what a really ugly person looks like. And it means they have no value because, look at her, she's so ugly.
That's true.
I think it teaches a real lesson.
It sounds like a great film. Another great film you've chosen. And I look forward to never watching it.
What?
Anyway, that about wraps us up for today. We'll come back at another time. Who knows when? But that's been us. This has been Hasta Lasagna. Don't get any on ya. I've been David Daniel.
And I've been Mary J. Sludge.
And that's that. Goodbye.